Self-discovery is the foundation of true growth and transformation. Most people spend their entire lives chasing after approval, validation, or recognition from the outside world, never realizing that their real strength lies within. When you take the time to focus on yourself, you begin to understand who you are beyond the noise of society, beyond the expectations of others, and beyond the comparisons that distract your mind. Self-discovery is about pausing long enough to ask yourself, what do I truly want? What values matter to me? What gifts and talents do I already possess that I have been ignoring? Too often, people live their lives trying to become a reflection of someone else's success story, when in reality, the most powerful story is the one they write for themselves. By turning inward, you begin to notice patterns in your behavior, both the positive habits that push you forward and the negative ones that hold you back. This awareness is the first step toward growth. Without it, you are like a ship sailing without a compass, easily pulled in any direction by the wind of public opinion. But with self-discovery, you gain clarity, direction, and purpose. You stop wasting energy on comparison because you realize that your journey is unique and cannot be measured by someone else's timeline. Self-discovery also teaches humility, reminding you that growth is a process, not a destination. It demands honesty, discipline, and courage, because looking within often reveals truths we try to hide. Yet it is in facing those truths that strength is born. When you discover yourself, you unlock confidence that doesn't need applause, motivation that doesn't fade, and resilience that doesn't break. The moment you choose to focus inward, you stop chasing the world and instead you begin to shock it. Discipline over distraction is one of the greatest keys to building a life of success and fulfillment. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. Social media, endless entertainment, meaningless conversations, and the constant urge to check what others are doing. These distractions might seem small in the moment, but over time they steal your focus, your energy, and your potential. Discipline is the shield against these distractions. It is the choice to say no when everyone else says yes. It is the ability to stay committed to your path even when temptation whispers loudly in your ear. Discipline is not about punishment. It is about freedom, the freedom to live a life on your own terms, because you are not controlled by impulses or distractions. When you build discipline, you build strength of character. You begin to realize that success does not come from sudden bursts of energy or random motivation. It comes from consistency. Waking up early, sticking to your plan, finishing tasks even when you don't feel like it. These small acts of discipline separate those who dream from those who achieve. Distractions, on the other hand, are silent killers. They disguise themselves as harmless entertainment, as a little break, as something you deserve. But in truth, they eat away at your time and your focus until you have nothing left to give to your goals. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you take one step closer to the life you desire. You strengthen your mind, and you train yourself to control your environment rather than letting your environment control you. Discipline is not about being perfect. It is about being persistent. It is about choosing progress over comfort, purpose over pleasure, and long-term success over short-term satisfaction. The more disciplined you are, the more unstoppable you become, because while others waste their energy chasing distractions, you are building, growing, and moving forward. Discipline turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. It transforms vision into reality and effort into results. Once you learn to master discipline, you will no longer need motivation, because discipline will carry you forward even on the hardest days. Patience is power, because real growth and real success are never instant. We live in a world that glorifies speed, quick results, fast money, overnight success stories, but the truth is that anything built quickly rarely lasts. Patience is what separates those who quit halfway from those who finish the journey. It is the ability to endure the process without losing faith in the outcome. When you are patient, you give yourself the time to grow, to learn, and to develop the strength needed to carry success when it finally arrives. Without patience, every obstacle feels like failure and every delay feels like defeat. But patience allows you to see setbacks as part of the training, as stepping stones preparing you for something greater. The strongest trees do not grow in a single season. They take years enduring storms, winds, and changes in weather. The same is true for human growth. You cannot expect to transform your life in a moment. It takes years of consistent effort, small victories, and lessons learned from mistakes. Patience is not about waiting passively. It is about working actively while trusting that results will come in their own time. It is about waking up every day and doing the work, even when the rewards are not yet visible. Most people fail not because they lack talent, but because they lack patience. They quit too soon, expecting success to come faster than it ever could. Patience, however, builds resilience. It teaches you to stay calm under pressure, to endure discomfort, and to trust the process. It is not weakness, it is strength under control. A patient person is unstoppable because they cannot be broken by delays or setbacks. They understand that every season has its purpose, and that the seeds planted today will bear fruit tomorrow if nurtured with consistency. With patience, you develop wisdom, strength, and unshakable confidence. It allows you to enjoy the journey rather than rush to the destination. In the end, patience is not just waiting. It is the silent power that shapes your character and ensures your success lasts. Silence speaks loudest because true strength never needs to announce itself. In a world where everyone is trying to prove something, where people shout about their achievements, post every step online, and constantly seek approval, silence becomes a rare form of power. When you choose silence, you choose focus. You allow your actions to become your voice and your results to become your statement. Silence does not mean weakness, and it does not mean invisibility. It means you are too focused on building, growing, and improving to waste time on unnecessary noise. The greatest transformations in life are noticed, not declared. When you work in silence, people begin to wonder what you are doing, how you are doing it, and why you no longer seek their attention. That curiosity turns into surprise when they finally see the results of your effort. Silence protects your vision from negativity. Not everyone will understand your dreams, and not everyone will support your journey. By keeping quiet and moving steadily, you avoid unnecessary criticism and doubt from those who cannot see what you see. Silence also builds discipline, because it teaches you that you do not need validation to stay committed. The moment you stop announcing and start producing, you conserve your energy for what truly matters. Results always speak louder than words, and silence makes those results even more powerful. People may forget what you say, but they will never forget the shock of seeing what you've achieved without ever boasting about it. Silence is confidence. It says, I don't need to prove anything to you. My work will prove it for me. It builds respect, because people trust actions more than promises. When you stay silent and consistent, you create an aura of strength that words could never create. In the end, silence is not the absence of sound. It is the presence of focus, patience, and results. It is the calm before the storm that shocks everyone when you finally rise. Resilience builds character because it is in the moments of struggle and hardship that the true strength of a person is revealed. Life will always present challenges, failures, disappointments, losses, and obstacles that seem impossible to overcome. These moments are not meant to destroy you, they are meant to shape you. Resilience is the ability to rise after every fall, to keep moving when everything in you wants to give up, and to find light even in the darkest of times. Without resilience, success cannot last because the road to achievement is never smooth. Every setback is a test of your determination, and every difficulty is an opportunity to grow stronger. When you practice resilience, you develop courage, patience, and wisdom. You begin to understand that pain is temporary, but the lessons it gives are permanent. Instead of asking, why me? You start asking, what is this teaching me? That shift in mindset is what builds true character. Resilient people do not allow failures to define them. They use them as fuel to keep going. They know that every time life pushes them down, standing up again makes them tougher and more prepared for the future. Resilience also builds humility because it reminds you that success is not about avoiding hardship, but about surviving it and thriving after it. The strongest leaders, creators, and visionaries are those who endured struggles that could have broken them, but instead those struggles carved them into individuals of power and influence. Your character is not built in times of comfort. It is built in times of difficulty. Resilience teaches perseverance, self-belief, and endurance. It teaches you to bend without breaking and to keep faith even when the journey seems endless. When others quit, the resilient stand tall, and that difference creates destiny. Remember, resilience is not just surviving storms, it is learning to dance in the rain and rise stronger after every storm passes. That unshakable spirit is what defines true greatness. Transformation through focus is the ultimate reward of self-discipline, patience, and resilience. Focus is the ability to direct your energy, your time, and your attention toward one clear purpose without being distracted by the noise of the world. Most people never transform because they scatter their energy in too many directions. They start something with excitement, but their attention shifts the moment a new distraction appears. Focus is different. Focus means deciding what matters most and pouring yourself into it with consistency and determination. Transformation happens when you make a habit of staying true to your vision every single day, no matter how small the steps may seem. Every great achievement in history was the result of focus. People who were willing to block out distractions, ignore doubters, and dedicate themselves to a cause until it became reality. Focus sharpens your mind, strengthens your discipline, and accelerates your growth. When you choose focus, you stop living reactively, responding to every call, every message, every temptation. Instead, you live proactively, guiding your energy toward progress. Transformation is not instant. It is the slow and steady outcome of focus applied over time. The person you are today will not be the same person you are tomorrow if you commit to focus. Over weeks, months, and years, the small choices compound, and suddenly you have built skills, strength, and confidence that once seemed impossible. People around you will be shocked, not because you told them what you were doing, but because your results reveal the truth. Focused people inspire others without trying, because transformation speaks louder than words. It shows that success is not luck. It is the product of attention and persistence. Focus also protects your peace. It keeps you from wasting energy on comparison, competition, or negativity because you are too invested in building yourself. In the end, transformation through focus is not just about achieving goals, it is about becoming a stronger, wiser, and more powerful version of yourself. When you master focus, you master transformation, and when you transform, you shock the world without saying a word.